Are we all set, Rob?
Just about just getting the on-screen agenda.
Okay, perfect. All right. Hi, guys. Had a little snafu there. You know how technology can be. So we're back. And I was starting with Bernadette when things kind of went kaplooey. So here we go again. So, Bernadette, your card is possessions, belongings, finances, assets, and treasures. And because it's in the root chakra, it is all about, sometimes we really are focused on what we have. And what I'm sensing for you, sweetheart, is that you have so many things that you're connected to, right? And in that place, we're inviting you to know that that is the foundation, your foundation. That it's not about how much you have. It isn't for any of us. The foundation of who we are is all about that whatever we possess or whatever we need, we can possess, we can hold on to. And that those things do not have to be fleeting. They do not have to be difficult for us to find or connect to. Um, and that all of those things weave together. I know you talk about your perception through unleash your potential, right? And so part of that potential is to have and be whoever you are meant to be, right? And that correlates to our finances. It correlates to what we have. And what I'm inviting for you is to be in a place where you understand that everything you need is right there in the present moment. And so your angels, your teams, your guides, they're all here in the present moment. We don't possess them, right? But they are connected to us and use their wisdom, use their information through automatic writing, and through any ways that you are willing to do so. And if you need help with any of that, just reach out because I'd love to be there for you for that. All right. Have a great evening, sweetheart. And Rob, I think your mic is still live because I'm hearing a little bit in the background. Thanks, sweetheart. So, Barbara, what have you got for tonight? So, Barbara, your card is the pleasure card. Enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. Lots of times we have that sort of, in the United States, we can have that Puritan mindset, that we deprive ourselves of pleasure. And we really carry it a bit too far because we think of pleasure as being something bad. And really that second chakra, the sacral chakra for you is all about like that juicy energy. And so what it's inviting you to do is like look around your life and see how can you bring more pleasure into your life. Maybe it's freshening up your environment and getting some new sheets for your bed because they feel good when you get inside and tuck yourself in. Or maybe it's indulging in something that feels a little bit frivolous, like maybe a new haircut or a new outfit. And how can you bring more beauty into your life? You know, when we have beauty around us, when we're in nature and we're just loving up the flowers and we're loving up the energy of just that breathtaking um, connection, then we start to notice it in all sorts of different places. So take some time this week to really focus on how can I bring more joy into my life? What brings me pleasure? And make sure you do something pleasurable every day. And yes, it can be about embracing your sensuality, but sensuality can, yes, it can be related to how we experience ourselves as a sexual being, but it also can be about how luxurious clothes can feel on our body, or have a massage, or like a loving lotion. Just using that sense of all of our senses, and how it feels when we connect to that. Because when we really dig into that second chakra and allow ourselves to have pleasure in all ways, then we are making room for more and more joy in our lives. And don't we all want that? So tap into that, and yeah, it might be, a juicy piece of chocolate too. Um, but it really is about any ways that you can find joy in the everyday moment. Mm, love that, Barbara. We all needed that. Thank you. Jackie, nice to have you. All right, so you have a 6th chakra card right now. So this is the intuition card. Trust, insight, awareness, and guidance. I love it. And so with this card, it's like, it's a gentle reminder that we all are intuitive. We all have those moments of knowing. We have those gut feelings that tell us when something's wrong, or tell us when something's right. But sometimes we don't trust it. If we don't trust ourselves and the hits and the information that we get, or we don't trust other people around us, then often we have a little bit of trouble trusting the divine messages that come in. And so you're being invited to find some ways to build that trust muscle again with the divine and the intuition and the messages that want to come through. Because it's there, and you know how to use it, and you've done it a million times. But maybe you could allow it to guide you just a little bit more often. And I think that's true for all of us, that, we get in our head and we try to figure something out. That's my key word. It's like, I'll figure something out. And the minute I say that, for me, I know I'm using my brain and I'm not using my intuition, because the divine never has to figure anything out. It just knows in any moment. Or that phrase, well, we'll make it happen. We'll make it work. That means we're pushing against energy. We're pushing against flow. We're pushing against what's naturally unfolding in the moment. So find some ways to tap into your intuition. And, even if it's as simple as driving your car and guessing what color the next light is going to be, or maybe it's asking for a close parking spot when you go shopping. That's one of my favorite ones to use. I always want, if I'm supposed to go somewhere, I'll get a parking space in one of the first 3 spots. And if I'm not meant to go in the store, then I won't. Or if I'm meant to go somewhere else, that's just what I do. And just trusting that you don't have to know why, right? It's just knowing that the all-knowing knows more than we ever will. And trusting that and leaning into that. And expand your intuition. Maybe even take a class on developing that, or your psychic abilities, because maybe that will help you feel more grounded in your abilities. Love that. Have a great night, sweetie. Mary, nice to have you. So Mary, your card is inspiration. And the inspiration card for you, again, we're in the 3rd eye, and it's ideas, spark conception, and impulse. So the inspiration, I always think of, that word comes from breathing. We're breathing in spirit. So when we breathe in spirit, we have this burst of aha awareness, right? So it's in our spirit that we feel that connection. That's where the ideas come in. That's where those possibilities um, flash before us, and we're like, "Oh, I got this idea." And actually, it lands right in the back, right in the back of your head. And in that spot, it's like we can't have inspiration if we're not breathing deeply. And if we're not allowing new thoughts and ideas to come in. I love to do brainstorming with other people, or even just brainstorming on paper, just to get the things my thinking brain wants to share down and out. And as I'm doing that, making room for other stuff to come in so that spirit can speak through me and inspire me to take action in a new way. Um, and one of the terms I've been seeing quite a lot lately is taking inspired action. So, inspired action to me is when we move forward in our life, but we're allowing spirit inside of us to help us move forward. And that's inspiring for other people as well as ourselves. And it invites more of the same to come in. So, that can be a beautiful way to um, bring our thoughts, our dreams, our imagination, our concepts into fruition. So start looking for inspiration around you and seeing how it can start to land within you. All right. Nice having you, Mary. Thanks for being here. You are welcome, Bernadette. I'm so sorry about the hiccup early. Yes. Yeah. The finding things in our in every day, you know, we get caught up in financial numbers and things like that. Like, oh, I need this much money. But it's like, no, really you have a focus of what you want that money for. So if you focus on what you want it for, it'll appear, or the thing will appear without needing the money. So yeah, focus on the little things and see how that is a chain reaction of dominoes to the big things. There we go. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, you're very welcome, Mary. Thank you for showing up for yourself and for us. That was great. Deanna, my emoji girl. I know there were emojis on the other one. So your card is in your throat chakra. Expression, assertiveness, self-control, direction, it's all connected to your will. And it's interesting because I know a lot of people think your will is located in your solar plexus. And it is to some degree. But in this case, it's how are you allowing your voice to be spoken? How are you allowing yourself to express who you're meant to be? And sometimes we think that, we have to control, control's all in our jaw. And so in that place of, control, we're pushing against the energy as it's flowing in. So it's like we're using our free will to put the brakes on, whether we mean it or not. And so then it has this, when we do that, we're then moving at a turtle's pace. We're still moving, but we're in that place of like, do, 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 do. So what's being invited in is like expanding the throat, really using the energy, using your will to allow yourself to be more assertive, allowing yourself to really choose that direction to take inspired action, using the ways that you are going to speak up for who you are, how you're going to address, how you're going to feel, how you're going to put yourself out there on social media, on the platforms, on your website, with your clients. Like, authenticity, right? When we're in that place of authenticity, we don't have to control what we're doing and how we're doing it. We don't have to hold back. We don't need to attach fear to that. So look for ways to sort of bring that authenticity through. Notice any ways you're putting the brakes on, because we all do, right? And lean in again with that inspired action. And even if it's baby steps in the direction you want to go, you're still going to get there if you're doing it as a turtle. You're still going to do it, right? Because it's just deliberate steps. But what would happen if you took your foot off the brake just for a moment? Maybe it would be fun to see where that ride's taking you. I think that's true for all of us, sweetie. So thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see you next week. Oh, there's my emojis. Thank you, dear. Kevin. Nice job. Another third eye, another 6th chakra. So this one is the guidance card. And there is a tree of life in the center, in case you can't see that. And the words on the top are support, love, signs, and direction. And that's why, to me, this has a feel of a letting. You have the compass, the sun above, the moon below, and the tree of life within. And part of that is, the sun is connected to the divine masculine energy, because it is over our heads. And it's the first light that we experienced, most likely, in the full brightness, is connected to the sun. And the divine feminine is very connected to the moon, because she shines her light even in the darkness, right? And so when you are in this place, I'm seeing that the compass is inviting you to point, point in a direction that you feel centered in your being, that, go in the way that you feel supported. Pay attention to the signs that are coming for you. Maybe repetitive numbers, maybe music. You're hearing certain phrases over and over again. Maybe you're waking up with certain songs in your head, or a certain phrase from a song that's in your head. Those are all signs where your team is trying to communicate with you. And when something is in love energy, our muscles aren't tight. We're not tense. We're not worried. We might be excited, so we might get that fluttery feeling in our belly, but it's not fearful, right? If it's hard to breathe with our chest or in our belly, then we may be having, that might be something to pause as a sign, like, maybe it's not right in this moment. And know that you have that internal compass. It's all connected to the tree of life that we activate every week, as a reminder. And when we're rooted in that connection, the guidance comes in easily. And just know that the divine energy never comes in fear. Not true divine energy. Fear is something that is man-made. And so look for ways that, what I'm seeing is, like, go in the direction where you breathe easier. Go in the direction where you can finally just relax and be yourself. Because when you do that, magical things are going to happen. Not only for you, but for a whole bunch of people around you. Love that. Have a great night, sweetie. Julie, nice to have you. Love our Star Nations peeps. All right, so your card is the emotional balance card. and this is in the green in our heart chakra energy. It has stability, harmony, peace, and fluidity on the top. And it's that holy grail, it's got the rainbow coming out of the holy grail. So within that heart, all of our other chakras are balanced and flowing in that emotional energy. And so what is coming in around this is that the key to that peaceful feeling for you is just lining up things in harmony with what you're feeling. Use your feeling as your GPS. Use your feelings to guide the way. And sometimes we feel like if we allow ourselves to experience our emotions that, we could become unstable, like, oh, I don't want to get angry because if I get angry, some story will happen. Or if I let myself get really sad, then some story will happen. But that's all in our ego. It's all in our inner critic. And because when we allow our emotions to guide us, because emotions are energy in motion, that's where the E and the motion come in. When we're allowing them to be present and they're balanced, everything in our world around us feels calm. It feels fluid. It feels stable, and we're not holding back our energy. We're not stopping ourselves from being who we are. And we are meant to have these emotions. That's exactly why we have them. It lets us know when something's up. And when we're in joy and we're love and happiness, it lets us know that's where we are. And if we start to feel differently, it can let us know, it indicates that something's a little bit off. And so you're really close to that place of harmony and fluidity and peace. Just let a little more of the emotional energy come through. Release any fear around the emotions. We all have that. It wasn't okay to be angry, or it wasn't okay to be upset, whatever was true in our family of origin or the culture around us. But what'll bring us peace inside is when we let ourselves have the feels. And trust me, even when you have big feelings, if you allow them to flow through, they last for a few minutes, rather than all the angst and anxiety that comes when we try to repress them or hold them back. So fill your cup and allow those emotions to flow, and so will everything else. Feels lovely and harmonious. So love it for you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks for joining us this week. Oh, you're very welcome, Kevin. Nice to have you. Ellen, fantastic. Glad you made it. Okay, so yours is a solar plexus chakra. It's personal boundaries. We all have these from time to time. And what it says on here is choice, assertiveness, empowerment, and authenticity. I think those are all words that I've used throughout the readings tonight. And so in the place of personal boundaries, it's the energy of you deciding what you need and what you want and being clear on that and asserting that. If you're in a relationship that doesn't work, don't be in the relationship anymore. Straight up. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve anyone else. It's prolonging the agony. It's prolonging the lack. You're holding on in a sense of lack. It's inviting you to be assertive, saying, this is what I want, and this is my choice. My life is my choice. That's one of those things that we forget. My life is my choice. If I don't like my life the way it is time to change my life, because I'm the only one who has the power to do that. And stop whining about it, right? Because if we don't choose to make a change, Well, then we did that consciously, and we need to own that, okay, I'm choosing not to change in this moment, so I'm not going to complain about it. This is just how things are going to be. But in the center of all that, where is the authenticity? Where is the real Ellen hanging out? Because if in any ways you are not being you and not being true to you, then your heart space can't be as fully open as it is meant to. And how are we going to get other people to tell us the truth if we don't speak it? How are we going to get other people to not do secretive behavior around us because we're keeping the secret of who we are? And this, again, this is true for every single person who's connected and listening right now, that it is so important to our personal power in that belly. Our personal power is meant to shine brightly, not to be smothered by bullies telling us what to do or how to be. It's about going, no, this is my life, and my choice in my life is to live my life this way. And so, sweetheart, grab onto that courage, grab onto that assertiveness, and if you need help, you know where to come. Because I'm more than willing to help you bust through that and get to where you're meant to be. Because you deserve it. We all deserve it. Love that. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks for joining us. Oh, thank you, Carol. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. And Rob, let's see what you got. That root chakra again. We're back to that. And this is home. I love that he's so cute in his little hammock. And so you're in that place of really creating a sense of home for yourself. Not only is it your shelter and your safe space, it's also where you can experience nurturing and warmth. And, whether that's like laying in a hammock, cozy, or maybe it's, having that special place to play your guitar. It's like home is where you feel at home within you. It may not necessarily be a physical place, but getting to a place where you're feeling at home inside of yourself. Sometimes we've had times where, we've had things in our past where we just don't want to face them. And so we run from them in different ways. But in the end, being at home inside of our own body and our own psyche and our own spirit, that's where we're all meant to be. That's how we're all meant to feel safe and secure, is when we're here in the present moment. When we don't feel safe and secure in this moment, it's because we've either carried the past and brought it with us into this moment, or we have projected out into the future all these worries of what could possibly maybe happen, which most of the time don't even come true. So work on your rootedness, finding that sense of home within yourself and within the people around you. And home is not a place, it's a sensation. And that's a great one for all of us. So guys, I'm so grateful that you all showed up for yourselves tonight, and that the spiritual teams were on point. And if you ever want a more detailed reading, you can just reach out to me. I do longer readings. You can book a session with me, or maybe you'd like some healing work to focus on one of the things that keeps coming up as an issue for you. And guess what? It doesn't have to stay there. So like and subscribe to us, and know that, we are in this place of intense change at the moment. And that's why our community is here, to just love, support, and nurture you. And with that, guys, bye for now.